Hi all, Christine Beyer here, licensed esthetician for 20 years, and today I wanted to talk about lip lines, how much we hate them. I had a lot of questions lately, yes, about just lip lines, upper lip lines, and they can be really irritating, and I find that they do respond. It depends on what decade you're in and how bad they are. I think I saw my first lip lines in my 40s and I was not happy, but I was able to nix them away with just a little Dermarolling. And so if you don't know what a Dermaroller is, it's basically this little device that rolls over the skin and punctures tiny little needles into the skin. Over time, those little divots get filled in with new collagen, and it's just a very nice way of refreshing the skin. And my skin would respond really well to that in my 40s, right? My lip lines. Now it takes something a little stronger, because I think when you get into your 40s and 50s, you start to see clearly how stress wears on our face. And so I'm a purser, and I get little lines there. And so what we need to do is, in addition to treating the lines, we need to be releasing that. And I did a video on this not too long ago where I talk about how to relax the area. This is just an Anma. This is a fascia release tool. And I find that the wrinkles around the lips, you really have to do a very superficial release first, because if you think of fascia, it's sort of this 3D spider web, and so there's very superficial fascia, and then it dives deeper down in this interconnected way through the skin, and at the very top of that wrinkle, it's being held in place via fascia. And so if you're not releasing that, you can do treatments till the cows come home, and it's always going to look deeper than it is. So this is what I'll do on clients. I will release the area. Sometimes if they're really bad, I have to go in and release the jaw, release the neck, release the whole area, and that's sort of my specialty. But if you just wanted to go in and release this, know that you probably have a tight jaw if you're a purser. It's part of pain face. So you think about how all the muscles sort of squish in and down towards the center of the face, and pain face. And it starts with a tight jaw, which so many of us have tight jaws, and we're grinders. And I think it's just being human, having a tight jaw. And if we're in a rush and we sort of forget to breathe and we grit our teeth, it's just so common. I see it in so many clients. And so you want to release this area. And then I would say if you're in your 40s, I would try microneedling. Although you can use microneedling at any decade, but I think the type that we get as they get deeper, we need to pull out bigger and bigger guns. And so I would say, microneedling in your 40s, 30s, 40s, and release work. Always release work, get those relaxed. And then next thing, I would say in my 50s, what helps the most is, blurring products. And so I love this because it helps sort of blur out the lines. And once again, fascia release work. And what else will I do? Oh, the Time Master Pro. This is the new look of the Time Master Pro, but this is ultrasound. It's very good at plumping. It's ultrasound and LED. And if you have light sensitivity or anything that's triggered by light, please, I just wanted to let you know, because people get mad at me for that. So this has all these different colors and flashing. So it's a combined ultrasound LED unit from Korea that's just been this smash hit. I prefer to use it on flashing because the skin will absorb more LED when it's flashing. I will go in and use this. You use conductive gel. This comes with a really nice conductive gel that has the polylactic acid in it, which is part of the whole facial filling line I'm always talking about. But I will go in and really schlacker. I'll have my whole face done, but I will go in and treat it with this. And this seems to be better for me than microneedling at this point. I think because it's more saturating for me. So, and I will do like this, like I'm kissing it, just to make sure all my lips and my upper lip gets treated really well. But this is fantastic for lip lines. I've even seen this device start to break down the glycation that we can get in this area. And I'm going to show a picture of glycation here. This is a really advanced case, but glycation happens when the body will cross-link a sugar molecule with a protein molecule, namely collagen. So sugar and collagen get mixed, and it forms this very tough, thick layer on the top of the skin. And I see this a lot in smokers, but you don't have to be a smoker for this to happen. It happens just with aging. Sun exposure, especially with sun exposure, happens all the time. But I was really rather shocked to see this. I have a 70-year-old client that has been able to get her glycation to start to lift with this, which is really fascinating to me because so few things work on glycation, especially the longer it's been there. It's just this slow moving, soupy, thick, hard layer of skin that nothing really works on. So I was delighted to find a home use product that actually worked on glycation. Oh, one last thing. This is a must-have for lip lines because I am a grinder and I actually use a retainer at night. And I had a new one made and it had just a little wire across the front. And I noticed over the next couple months that my top lip just disappeared. And I was like, what is going on? So I figured it out that my other guard had like this big lip on it and it was made of silicone and it went over my top teeth and it poked my lip out while I slept. And I was like, dang it, that is what's going on. It's like, granted, our lips do start to deflate as we get older, but not to that degree and not that fast. And I was just like, what? So if you go to Walmart, and there's two in here, I think this was $20. So I'm going to give these a try. But what you're looking for is that it has that lip there. It just has a lip so that while you sleep, it pushes your lip out and you have sort of this reverse pressure. It's the same concept as the Angel Lift, and this was, I don't know, it came out a couple of years ago, but it's just a little silicone, it looks like a tab or something, and you put it here and you use it in the morning while you have your coffee. I guess a half an hour in the morning, a half hour at night or something like that. And I thought, well, that makes a lot of sense, but it forces the muscles here to hold it in, and so you get this pressure growth. Essentially, it's just this pressure that the skin senses, and it will thicken up around that area. And so I sleep with these partly because I need to, because I'm a grinder, and partly because anything that has like a little lip over the top front teeth is going to push that top lip out and cause it to look fuller. Now you have to use it every night, but it does work. I mean, it's proven concept. I just love it, and it's one of my tricks to keep this looking better. Got to use everything we got past 50, right? All right, take care now.